Hi, everyone. Scott and Claire here again for a few minutes on Facebook Live. I want to talk to you this evening about our faithful sixes.
Oh,
Such beautiful people.
I don't know what we'd do without the faithful sixes in our lives. And so, if you're just tuning in and you know some sixes and you want to say, hey, don't miss it. By the way, I do have a cold. I hope you don't catch it. Especially
That's
you.
good. That's a good one. That's a good one. Way to go to your six energy.
I know. Like I've been
Is that
trying
why you
to.
have the military kind of fatigue jacket on?
No, it was warm.
Representing the sixes.
Yeah, I gave you a lot of emergency. You guys ever take emergency? That is a very six way to. It's a very sixy way of staying away from the the stuff. Anyway, obviously I didn't take enough because grandchildren really got me. Huh?
Probably should have tried some other letters.
And what? Emergency.
Yeah, like emergent D.
Vitamin D.
Yeah, who knows?
Anyway, just take your vitamins, everyone, and drink lots of fluid in this season. Yes, William Robert, make sure you take your vitamin C.
We don't want you to not feel well.
That's right. Yeah. It is really something right now that I take vitamins. I don't think I ever took vitamins in my 20s, 30s, 40s, but here I am encroaching on 60, the vitamins.
Yeah.
Got to take those vitamins.
Harmony Triad 369. So recently we were.
Are you ready to start?
I am. We're going.
Oh, it's 9:01.
It is.
Go ahead.
Fear not.
All right.
So recently we were doing a panel.
Wait. Before you talk about sixes, these sixes, they say, I'm a loyal person who longs for a sense of belonging and looks for signs of trustworthiness in others.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you want me to read the rest of that?
I do, because I have this cold.
Okay.
And I'm so sorry.
Trustworthiness in others. Okay. My friends can count on me to be loyal to them to the end.
Yeah, that is sixes.
Yeah.
We can count on the sixes.
So grateful for that. I'm motivated by a desire for safety and security. I'm always aware and even subconsciously aware of what might go wrong.
Oh, bless the sixes.
Yes, we'll get to that in a minute. Perceived danger can be as real as if it were happening.
Just because I'm paranoid doesn't mean they're not out to get me.
That's right. Doesn't mean they're not out. Exactly. I have a constant background of anxiety due to my vivid imagination. I wonder what might go wrong and don't want to be defenseless. In dangerous situations, I can withdraw or confront them head on. I can be suspicious and look for hidden meanings and messages in people's actions. What were you really trying to say to me?
Yeah.
I ask questions and play the devil's advocate to keep things safe and stable. I value tradition and the common good. I don't want to rock the boat, and I don't readily trust authority and don't necessarily want to be the authority. When I do trust, I'm loyal to people, systems, organizations, and beliefs, sometimes to a fault.
Yeah, so that is the description of the sixes from the book, Spiritual Rhythms for the Enneagram. And if you haven't picked it up yet, you might want to consider that. And sixes for us, I would say they've been some of the most right there friends in our lives. And sometimes you don't even really realize how right there they are. Right. So one of our children's pastors, Rhonda, for 28 years has been working with the children, and those kids, they will never forget her.
Yeah,
just and the love she has
so
for them.
Stable and steady and secure, and not really makes any kind of demands.
No, it's true. just showing up.
She didn't just count on it.
Yeah. Yeah, and one of the things that even when we think about sixes and coming into harmony, integrating head, heart, gut, IQ, EQ, GQ. We had a great experience just a couple of weeks ago maybe even a week ago, with a 6 panel.
It was great fun.
Gosh. Tell the story. I'm stuffed up.
It ended up being like, if you were going to write a skit, if you were a skillful writer, a skit about sixes, it would have been perfect.
Yeah, and it wasn't scripted.
Yeah, it was real.
It was the best.
We were doing a panel.
A panel means that we actually had 4 sixes on the platform with us, and then one.
Actually, we weren't supposed to have 4 sixes.
Yeah, that's another story.
Yeah.
Okay, and then one on Zoom.
Right.
On the big screen.
So when we arrived at the presentation, there was a 6 that was going to do a reading that became concerned about securing another situation. So they backed out. They backed out.
Because they had to take care of another situation.
Right. Then there were supposed to be 2 people on the panel, and somebody was going to be Zoomed in to do conversation by Zoom.
And the Zoom person didn't think they were going to be able to make it, but then they said they
didn't want to let you down, I suppose.
Well, but they planned strategically, so they came on the Zoom.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then when she came up on Zoom, no sound. So we've got a room full of people, large room full of people, no sound on the Zoom.
And she's talking.
Right. And yeah, you could feel the tension a little bit in the air, especially for the sixes. So one of the sixes on the panel that was invited to be on the panel, the reason there ended up being 4 sixes is 2 sixes just came out of the crowd and felt like they wanted to make sure that we were covered.
And sat on the platform.
Yeah.
It was fascinating.
Took our seats. We didn't have anywhere to sit. So so one of the sixes got up to try to repair the problem.
Oh yeah, the IT guy. He was going to fix it completely.
He came over to fix it.
Meanwhile, there was a security guy on the panel that had a headset.
Started talking on the walkie-talkie about another problem or some chaos that was happening in another part of the building. Then, simultaneous to all that going on, a guy that claims he's a 5, but we think he's a 6. He came charging out of the crowd to jump up and talk too.
Like, a few hundred people. 5s don't typically do that.
It was pretty skittish. It was it really was like, this couldn't go better. We've got a silent movie 6 going on. We've got an IT 6 trying to fix our problem. We've got 6s coming out of the crowd to support the problems. And we're just thinking, this is just how this goes. This is a great presentation of 6. So it's important for 6s in those situations is to breathe and to pray.
Which is what this series is about, is breath prayer. And so if you know 6s or you are a 6 and you realize sometimes your hypervigilance saves the world and other times your hypervigilance keeps you from being at peace in your own soul, you can practice breath prayer that is integrating all 3 centers of intelligence. So we want to invite you to that. Mm-hmm. So if you'd like to just get comfortable, take a seat in a way that helps you be present and breathing and taking in a breath that is pure grace here, that you can be here and now. And we invite you to breathe in and down and notice this magnificent breath you've been given. You didn't do anything to prepare for it. You did not create it. You did not make it happen, but this is being given to you right now. And maybe even breathing in and matching your theology to your physiology. And you breathe in, made in God's image. I am courageous. Made in God's image. I am courageous. So you're matching with your physiology, your theology, your thoughts about God, that made in God's image. I am courageous. Slowing down all of that hypervigilance and receiving the grace that is here and now. And then one way that we integrate your intellect, your emotional intelligence, and your instinctual intelligence is to pray. Actually, the title of the chapter of our book, which is Faithfulness, the 6, produces heart, peace, the gut. So you have this wonderful 6, 3, and 9 prayer. Faithfulness produces peace. And maybe even breathing in faithfulness to a count of 5 and holding produces right here in your heart space peace. And you'll be slowing down the RPMs of this hypervigilance. Faithfulness produces peace. And try that 3 or 4 times, matching your prayer to your breath. So this kind of prayer takes in the faithfulness of the 6 and welcomes producing peaceful presence and a non-anxious presence. That while there is a lot to take care of, you're able to come home to what is most true about you. You are more than your head, your thoughts about vigilance and taking care of all that is wrong in the world, making sure everyone is safe, and letting your faithfulness actually produce peace. And you're creating a new neural pathway here. So while on automatic, it's all faithfulness, hypervigilance, got to take care of it, everyone needs to be safe. You're bringing it in and coming into producing from a heart space peace. And what we know about a new little happy set of neurons, that faithfulness can produce peace. And you can bring that non-anxious, faithful, loving presence to your world, wherever you are, at a board meeting, in a family dinner table, in the holidays, that your faithfulness can produce peace rather than getting everyone on high alert. You can bring peace. And so we say to you, our friends, faithfulness produces peace. God bless you.
God bless you. Doug and Adele tomorrow evening doing the 7 breath prayer. And don't forget that if you haven't gotten a copy of Spiritual Rhythms for the Enneagram yet, be sure to grab a copy of that. All these breath prayers that we've been going through, you can find in there in different.
Great Christmas gift.
Yeah,
right.
Wonderful Christmas gift.
Help people find peace.
And we hope that your holiday season has been wonderful so far and just continues to get better. God bless.